All right, so taking a look at this word problem here, my party people, we see that the question sentence begins with some information that doesn't tell us what we want yet. I know that's going to be information we'll use, but remember that the first step in any word problem at all is reading the question sentence first. We want to know what we want. So I'm going to ignore this. Like, yeah, if we buy these things, the real question is, how much will we spend in total? Right there. How much will we spend in total? So my party people, quick question. Typically speaking, when we talk about calculating a total, typically what might we be doing in this problem? Yeah, typically we might be adding, right? Typically we might be adding some values together to get that total, and sometimes that might look like multiplication too. So let's go ahead and just understand the information here, like what's going on. Because the sentence said that we're buying some folders and markers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say, hey, okay, if I knew how much a folder costs, 5 of them, everybody, you tell me if you agree with this. To get the cost of 5 folders, just multiply the cost of a folder by 5. Same thing with markers. If I want to find the cost of 4 markers, find the cost of markers, multiply by 4. Right? Pretty straightforward when you think about it, just taking a step back. And the only difference between that straightforward thinking and what we see here is we're just dealing with decimals. So if this problem gave you a little bit of pause or a little bit of anxiety, really where it comes from, most likely, because again, I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what's going on, but very likely it's going to be these decimal places. So let's go ahead and just apply what we said we would do. 5 times the cost of folders, 4 times the cost of markers, add them together, and we're good. I'm also going to show you a much faster way to get this done if you know what to look for. So here we go. 5 folders. So we'll go ahead and do $2.25 multiplied by 5. And that's going to give us 25, carry the 2. Then 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 2 is 12. And then we have 2 times 5 again, which is 10, carry the 1 is 11. So we have 1125, but everybody remind me, when we multiply by decimals, in this specific case, how many decimal places am I bringing back? Yeah, twice, because we see that we have 2 places right here, so we'll bring 2 places back. Boom, 1125 or $11.25. We'll keep that right there, because again, this was for the folders. And we'll come right back for that after we calculate markers. I'll go ahead and do markers in blue. We have $2.25 for markers as well, right here. And so with that, we'll go ahead and multiply the $2.25 by 4. And we have 5 times 4, which is 20. Carry the 2. 2 times 4, which is 8. Carry the 2 is 10. And then we have 2 times 4 plus the 1, and that'll be 9. We move the decimal place twice over, so we bring 2 back. And so with that said, my party people, there we go. We have the 2 prices. We have $11.25 and $9, and we can add those together, and we get that final price. So we'll go ahead and show that right over here. Plus the 9. And that's going to be $20.25, which is going to be answer choice B right over here. But I want to show you the difference between knowing what to do and knowing what to do in the fastest way possible. So let me show you here. Everybody, what do you particularly notice about the cost of each folder versus the cost of each marker? What did you notice? Yeah, outside of the fact that, paying $2.25 for a folder is heinous, you notice that markers and folders are the same exact price. And when it comes to math, if I'm going to be multiplying, $2.25 by 5, and then on this hand over here by 4, and then add it up at the end, guys, what we can do, long story short, is just add the 5 and the 4 together. Let's take a look right over here. 5 plus 4, let's go ahead and connect the dots over here. 5 plus 4, that's going to give us 9. Let me show you something pretty cool when we go ahead and just do that multiplication one more time. 225, 5 times 9, 45, carry the 4. 2 times 9 is 18, carry the 4 is 22. 2 times 9, that's 18, carry the 2, and that's 20. And then don't forget to just bring those decimals back, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and we get $20.25, giving us the correct answer in a much, much faster process. So again, both methods are correct, but when it comes to taking a test that you might be preparing for, we might want to consider that we don't have all the time in the world. With practice, we pick up on things like this pretty routinely. All right, let's give this next one a shot here. First things first, as always, read the question first, the question sentence. Everybody, what is it that we're looking for here? What percentage increase does the extra $750 represent? Again, what we're looking for is the percent increase, the percent that represents the increase. So as always, remember that with our formula, percent times original equals result, the percent and the result represent the same thing. So if you're trying to get the percent increase, we want to plug in the amount of the increase to get this done. So here we go, everybody. I'm going to put P percent for that percent that we're looking for. What was the original amount of this fundraiser? What was the original collection amount? Correct. $5,000 right here. The community fundraiser initially collected $5,000. So boom, we'll write that out right there. That is the original. And then everybody, because we want to get the percent increase, can somebody tell me what the amount of the increase was? Is it 5,750? No, it's not going to be 5,750. Remember, this is the amount that it increased to, not what it increased by. Again, it's very important here. It's the 750. That's what was extra. 5,000 to 5,750. It's an increase. It's an increase of 750. So with that said, that is what we have to plug in here on the right. And from here, we're done. We're ready to go. Watch and learn. We have 5,000 times P equals 750. So what we're going to do is divide both sides by 5,000. Once we do that, things become a little smoother because we cancel out on the left. And now we have P equals whatever that's going to be. Now let's go ahead and do the long division. We're dividing by 5,000. So that'll be on the outside. We're dividing into 750. So that's what I'll write on the inside. And now, because I know 5,000 doesn't go into 750, I'll plug in another decimal or two. I typically do 2 just in case, but let's keep it going here. So 5,000 goes into 7,500. How many times, everybody? How many times does 5,000 go into 7,500? Correct, just once. Let's put that decimal in the same spot that it was in, but that's 0.1 so far. So with that, we subtract 5,000, and we are left with 2,500. We'll drop that 0, and now we have 25,000. Everybody, how many times does 5,000 go into 25,000? 5 times, exactly. 5 times 5 is 25. 5,000 times 5 is 25,000. So there we are. We have 0.15, and we're done. The answer here is 0.15 because it's a clean division. No remainder here. All good. So we have 0.15, and to turn that back into a percent, it's going to be twice to the right, making it 15%. That $750 represents a 15% increase in that fundraiser. And there we go, my party people. There we go. You know, my goal here was to teach you, as anxious as you might feel about the current topics at hand, we can always take it one step at a time and get better, one problem at a time. Thank you guys for showing up. This was a great class through and through, everybody.